Who's having the party? Made it 3.
Jack's having a party.
Jack is?
Yeah.
Your house?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's, I'm sure you're gonna ask me, so I'll ask you, are you concerned about 3-point shooting? And I'm gonna tell you I'm not, because we did it all summer and all fall, and shot the ball really well, and, you know, it didn't go in. On the other side of the coin, it was great to get to the free throw line a lot and make a lot of free throws. You know, the positives, our defense was very good early. We had a few lapses in the second half, but it was very good. Turnovers were okay. We tried to throw a couple lobs, and I, you know, like I credit AJ, tried one to Booker to try to get him going, and that's Book's fault. You can see the strength is still a factor with him, and you know, we didn't get the ball to Tyson enough early. But we tried to do what we did, and we did exactly what we wanted to do. I mean, you know, and I know we're not going to play everybody 20 minutes, 10 guys 20 minutes. We almost did that tonight for a reason, and we'll use a lot of that to see now, start separating the playing time a little bit more. Still play a lot of guys. I guess if there were disappointments, I was disappointed in Cohen because he was so good the other night, and he did not guard very well and do the things he's got to do, and he was the first to admit it after. So, you know, there were some bright spots in Marty early. Marty going to the free throw line, Marty getting 10 rebounds. Thought Malik was more aggressive early, but when you're subbing like we subbed, and again, we did it all on purpose. You know, we're going to expect some bumps on the road, especially in a game like this. Question.
Tom, what did you think about how your team bounced back in general and specifically Jaden Higgins?
You know, I thought Jaden did some good things, but I'll be honest with you, Jaden's a lot better player than he played. You know, there were some turnovers and there were some things, decisions that were made. He's a better player, he knows it, and I know it, but he did bounce back and make some shots. He had 2 wide open threes, and he makes those all day long. But he gets 13 points, and what he has continued to do is rebound the ball, and that's one thing we asked of him after the Tennessee game, and to his credit, he's done a phenomenal job on that. So we'll keep growing from there, but we just didn't get enough shots up. 52 shots, not enough shots. It really wasn't because of the turnovers. We didn't get a lot of offensive rebounds, and that hurt us a little bit. But I think the biggest thing is they had 28 free throws, and our defense was good enough where they did not score early in their possessions, so that took up clock time, and I thought, you know, I'd like to get 60-some shots up, but when you get 28 free throws, that really doesn't happen.
Hey Tom, congrats on the win. Going back over these 3 games, combined lesson you think your team can get from this and that you may use in the future possibly?
Yeah. Well, you know, I haven't thought about that. We got to rebound the ball better. I think is one lesson. We have to play a lot more physical, you know. But we got some guys that aren't as physical right now. You know, Jaden's got to probably play more physical. I mean, Tyson's not a physical guy, although he plays pretty hard. I thought AJ has to play better. You know, he was okay, but I think maybe a little bummed out that didn't play as many minutes in a couple stretches, but we told him that was going to happen until he starts playing harder all the time. So I am putting a lot of pressure on AJ because he's one of my better players. You know, Tyson, I mean, he gave me everything because his back is, probably saw he had a brace on some of it, and so we need to get him a couple days here. But you know, I just think that our best players, you know, Malik and Jaden and AJ have to play better than maybe they've been playing.
Thank you.
Tom, after the James Madison game, you said you were going to make some changes. What were the changes and were you happy with?
Well, I did make some changes. I didn't bench anybody because my man back there would probably have a bird, so I didn't want to get any controversy, no insult intended, but I'm looking right at you. But I think in general, we just told guys if they don't play harder, and push the ball more, do more things, I'm not gonna play it. We're just gonna take you out. So there were a lot of subtle changes made. We just didn't want to make monster changes because we didn't want to have a quarterback controversy this early in the season.
Coach, you mentioned a lack of physicality in this game today. What can you assess your confidence level in Sissoko and the guys with Filipowski and Mark Mitchell coming in or you guys going into Chicago to face them on Tuesday?
Yeah, Mitchell is very physical, as we know, and so is their other center who played at Northwestern. But Marty can handle himself. I was a little disappointed in Carson tonight too, as far as being physical, But he is a physical kid. He got punched in the ribs early in the game, knocked the wind out of him, and I think he let that affect him a little bit. But we just got to get a lot more out of Cohen, because he is physical and he will play physical, and then AJ's got to really man up. For AJ not to get a rebound or a free throw, and he played pretty good. If Book makes 3 dunks that he should have made, that's 3 more assists, and he has a big assist night. But I think he's got to do more. He's got to have his hands on the ball more. There are other guys taking the ball up, and those guys are better shooters. He's better with the ball, so we'll have to make some adjustments still, and some of that'll be my fault that I got to get better at, and some of it'll be, their fault.
Tom, they scored, I think, 12 in a row early in the second half, but it was some of your reserves that kind of led the charge after that. I think with Book and Trey and Jeremy. How encouraging was it to have a response to that?
Well, it was, and the encouraging thing is they did. The discouraging thing is our veterans let that kind of go. But they hit some shots too, they haven't been shooting the ball real well, and I think they hit 3 threes in a row. Now they only hit 5 in the second half, but they hit 3 of them in a row, so it made it really look bad. But I'm not. I knew there'd be a little process to this. I did not think we would shoot this bad from the 3. So if there's a controversy, that's where the controversy is. But I'm not making it one. I leave that to everybody else. I see him every day. Not even something I talked about once to any of you. And yet, stuff happens, and we just have to work our way through it. So see how mentally tough we are.
Coach, you talked a little bit about Xavier Booker's play tonight, but what did you see from him in that extended minutes he had?
I love Xavier Booker. He's just got to get a lot stronger and a lot tougher mentally, and we knew that. He knew that. His family knows that. And we're just going to work on it every day. Believe it or not, he's made some progress. But those 2 dunks he should have had, he just kind of went up soft, and that's not how he's been. So, maybe getting a little tired playing. What did he play, 18 minutes? How many Book play? 16 minutes, 17 minutes. That's more than he, has been playing. And so it's all part of the growing process. But, he's just got to learn how to keep that motor running, We have a free throw cutout, he doesn't do it. He's got to do that, and he knows it. I think the guy that was most disappointed, and it was really good for a freshman, was Cohen. He was madder at himself than anybody, and that's always a good sign.
Hey Coach, obviously Jeremy's a great player, that's why he's here, but can you talk about, how important it is having a young guy with such developed leadership skills on the team?
Yeah, he does have leadership skills, and he's got to continue to use them. All those guys, I think, we do such a poor job in high school and everything. That's why everybody's gone to the transfer portal, to be very honest with you. You look around the country, there's so few freshmen playing on significant teams. There's just not nearly as many because everybody knows the process takes so long. I think these guys think they can come in and just be factors immediately, and it's not easy to do that. So, but at the same time, when we get through it and get it done, I think it's gonna benefit us a lot. He is the one guy that he is tough enough, and he is vocal enough. But like, you know, I think he came here to push the ball, but we want him to push the ball. He's gotta push the ball. And I bet you Monty was on him about that more than anything tonight, you know, but he can guard, he can get after it. Made a nice jump shot. He threw a couple lobs that should have been, ended up with 5 assists and no turnovers, I believe. That's incredible stats for him. Pretty good defense, 5 turnovers, 5 assists, no turnovers, 18 and a half minutes of play. That's a good night, because he should have had 3 more assists if guys would have made some shots.
Stephen, last question?
I'm wondering about the juggling you mentioned about the minutes and the bumpy road that might be ahead while you do that. What do you expect? I guess how long do you expect that to be a situation? And do you think it's something that do you have like a date or games where you kind of want to have it ironed out a little bit by?
I don't mind answering this question in a bad way, because you asked it in a worse way, like you stumbled 13 times, and so I'm allowed a couple of stumbles on my answer, but there's no date, there's no magical time. I mean, it's gonna take a little time to get these guys. I mean, I look at it as I got 5 veterans and I got 5 rookies, really, you know, because Carson and Trey did not, you know, play enough minutes to make that a factor, and so, you know, sometimes too, the way we sub tonight, we had them all in there together. You know, I need to have Book in there with the 4 starters. I need to have Cohen in there with the 4 starters, or, you know, we got to do a little bit of that. I don't think I'm going to try to experiment at all next week. In that game, I think it'll be a little bigger. So, you know, we'll see what happens in the 4 or 5 days of practice. We'll see what we get out of the film session. But the stronger, tougher guys are going to play more, but it's going to take a little time. So I'm going to answer it like you asked it. You know, I don't have a date. I don't have a game. I don't have a number of games. For the most part, I'm still a big picture guy, and I'm worried about what happens, you know, a month from now, not what happens a day from now, and that's the way we'll do it.
All right, we'll wrap up here with Maddie.
Obviously, a season is a marathon and not a sprint, but 2 games in, just where do you think this team is at? Are you surprised by some of the issues that you guys are facing, especially now that your schedule gets a lot more difficult with Duke, Butler, Arizona on that?
You know, I can't be surprised by the lack of 3-point shooting, you know. I mean, it's because I am not, you know, a month from now I might be saying, speaking differently, but you know, I just went 5 months and watched guys shoot, so that doesn't faze me. The free throw shooting is more important, and I think we'll get that handled. But you know, if we win the game the other night by 1 because the shot doesn't go in, we all probably feel different, you know, and then the phony fans or the internet people don't get all upset. And because I was upset about the loss, I wasn't upset about the things that happened. I mean, you just can't go 1 for 20. You can't go 23 for 41, you know, it's not happened in my career here, it's not happened in my lifetime. And I don't think it'll happen in my lifetime. So just 1 more basket, 1 more free throw, and you win the game. And then it kind of solves everything. And that wouldn't have meant we were any better. So, yeah, I'm disappointed. I'm upset about it. But I'm a little more disappointed that our veterans have to play better. But this is a good learning lesson for AJ. This is a good learning lesson, you know. We can't have play like we did the other day and just let it happen. So there might be another loss. There could be a couple more losses as we figure out what we got to do. But we're gonna play harder and we're gonna play a little better, and we've got our free throws, now we're gonna start attacking the physical part, you know, the rebounding. And then, defending, I mean, I don't know. That team was pretty good, they shot before, not, you know, JMU, they shot 36 and 27. This team shot 31 and 29. I mean, you take those against good teams, bad teams, any teams. So that's not the problem. Offense is a little bit of a problem right now because guys aren't making shots. So we'll just have to continue, but
All set, guys?
I got time for another question if you want one.
Probably a little better, I hope.
Me too.
That 12-0 run they had in the second half, I think the starters were out there, and then you subbed in that group with Cooper and Holloman and that. I guess, what did you see on both ends of that run?
Well, I think you guys are looking for Magic Johnson to fly in. You know, those freshmen aren't going to be good. Just, again, go around the country and go around the Big Ten and tell me how many are playing. So they're not saving the day on Tuesday. They're going to get better, but the day's going to be saved by the veterans that have been through the wars. And then those guys are going to supplement in. And there's two of them now that are ready to do it right now. And there's another one that is going to take a little longer, and we knew that from day one. So I'm not. I don't look at that as anything big, but because they came in and gave us a little run, I'm not. Let me see, gambling's legal now. I wouldn't bet that I'm going to start those 5 on Tuesday.
What about the 12-0 run over 4 of the starters?
Disappointed. Yeah. They hit a couple of threes. We had a couple of miss. We didn't get a couple of rebounds. They had kick out threes. You know, disappointed. AJ's got to go in there and get some because he's strong enough, tough enough to do that. For him to have no rebounds is not good. But I think he was a little upset. So misery loves company. You know, maybe him and I'll spend the night together and talk about it all, have some fun.
All good.
Thanks.
No questions? Man.